Hey, good morning everybody. Happy Monday, y'all. Got us a loaded week here this week. And we got about 10 minutes until the bell here, so let's just take a quick dig through what we got coming up here again, just in case you didn't catch my prep yesterday. We'll do a really fast one right now. But keeping an eye on this week, coming over here to the economic calendar, we've got a bunch of Fed speakers this week. And most importantly, we have Powell here on Wednesday giving some opening remarks here at a Fed event. Again, here that's on Wednesday. And that's just a few minutes for the bell. Again, I'm Eastern time. Market opens for me at 9:30, and we got Powell here at 9:15 on Wednesday. And then we have him again here, middle of the session on Thursday. So again, nothing crazy like an interest rate decision or anything, but, with the current environment, we're kind of just moving here every time the Fed opens their mouth. So something to keep an eye on here later into the week. And so just a quick look here at some charts. Again, something I was stressing here big time yesterday, and I'm going to keep stressing big time here this morning, is that we have arrived here once again back at this previous level of consolidation when we got back up here to test this daily mean here at about 4350, 4400, right? A decent little range here. But Watch did make a good point here a few minutes ago, stating that the cutoff for tax loss selling here for the year for institutions was the end of October. So not surprised to see they kind of let it fall pretty hard here leading into the end of the month, and then right as the month rolls over, we're coming right back. Right, so little tax harvesting losses here, right? And we're back in action. So again, just got to be careful here at this zone, since we are now here again, to see what the move away from the zone is, right? Do we continue higher, or do we need to pull back here a little bit before maybe going higher, right? Or like we've been talking about, we have a lot of things looming as well. We're on two war fronts right now, and of course the situation in the Middle East not looking too hot, especially as we get more and more involved. Could be a rollover from here and right back down. So just something to stay aware of, but most importantly, I think what we're going to get here is maybe some consolidation again for a couple days possibly, but then a nice move away from the zone, right? I don't really care what happens while we're here. Looking for the leg away from this zone here again, whether it be downside, whether it be upside, no effing idea. But again, we'll get multiple days of it, so no need to be the first one to the party, right? I say it all the time, let that keg drop, let that ice melt, and we'll have us a nice cold beer here after. So something to keep an eye on here. A big one too, as I just flick through some charts here real quick, keep an eye on this chart here at the bottom right, my daily Ichimoku cloud. You're going to see a lot of names here preparing for the interaction here at this daily Ichimoku cloud. Got a lot of names either pulling up to it or already at it or already clearing it. And our indices here are going to look pretty much the same. NQ arriving here again at this level of consolidation. Again, same setup. Just going to wait while we chop here a little bit. Maybe get through these Fed speakers this week. And then have us a move here either below this 15,000 again, or maybe we retest it and then go higher from this 15,000. All in all, I like having this 15,000 right up in there. And again, not going to spend too much time here. YM, the same thing. At this level here of consolidation, previously at the mean, just looking for a leg away. Got up here right to the top of it, so maybe we crack through. And another key psych level thrown in here, 34,000. Keep an eye on that. And again, arriving here at this daily Ichimoku cloud on a lot of names. So, you know, very likely we get some turbulence here, some interactions, maybe a rejection. So that's why I was saying this morning, I might not take any trades today while we let all of this unfold. Apple, another one here, right at this daily Ichimoku cloud, already rejected it once, came back up to it to test it again, and we closed pretty much right at it. Let's see if we can crack into this baby and start working our way to the top. And of course, trying to clear, once again, this key psych level of 180. But even though we did reject here the daily Ichimoku cloud a bit, we did find us some support at this daily mean. Very important. Right at this nice level of 174. Let's see if we can stay above this 174, or preferably this nice psych level of 175. Got about 3 minutes here, y'all, so get your coffee, get your water. We'll quickly run through a couple more of these. Amazon, a lot of tech names looking like this as well, right? After a crazy run up, getting near the top of their Keltner studies, right? Cracking into this third channel here. Might need to let Amazon take a little pullback here before maybe actually clearing this 140. Wouldn't mind the pullback down to this daily Ichimoku cloud near this 134.5, 135 key psych level. Google is one I'm probably going to be watching here today. We are right at this gap fill, right, cracking through it here. Let's see if we can run up here to the upside and fill this gap. A little bit of a shaky earnings, so maybe needs the whole market here to have the strength to go higher. But gonna keep an eye on this for sure. We're cracking into this gap now. I don't mind it. And then again, another daily Ichimoku cloud here we have to deal with and we have to clear. Definitely need to clear the whole thing to get up to fill this gap. Meta, another one here, clearing the daily Ichimoku cloud, getting back above the daily mean after a shaky earnings. I like Meta here, right? And we've been saying it for quite some time. Meta above 300, still feeling good about it. And not too far above the mean, right? Maybe doesn't need a pullback. Meta could go higher today. We'll see. Microsoft one I would leave alone here. Really nice run up here off of the mean up to this third Keltner channel and to a weekly squeeze top. Maybe needs a little minute here to relax. Netflix, kind of the same thing. Really strong move up here after that earnings up into this third Keltner channel. Maybe just let Netflix chill here for a little bit. NVDA one I like here. So I was talking about it here in the chat. If we can clear this 460, 470, could have us a nice move to the upside. Nice little move here from 400 though, pretty much 50 points straight up. Maybe needs a little pullback here before going higher. We're gonna watch the rest of the market here for this one. And Tesla, another one I like here to the upside. Right, getting close to this gap here, right? If we can clear this mean and we'll enter this gap, should have us a nice move up here to 240, maybe 250. But alright y'all, a couple seconds here. Guess I'll watch Google here this morning. Let's look at some contracts here. But again, gonna be really patient here, right? A lot of names here at a pretty critical level. Just need to see some holds. Need to see what these names are capable of here. Many of them, though, I'm assuming gonna need the market here to go any higher. So alright, let's dig on in here, see how this open does. ADD opening just slightly negative here at about negative 82. Getting a nice move higher here, right? We talked about this here in the chat a few minutes ago, right? Watch set it pretty directly here. Maybe we get a little head fake here, pump higher, and then a dump here later into the session. We are getting a nice clear move here to the upside to start, right? No clear rotation. NQ already tapping above its high from Friday and its high from the entire week from last week. And a nice pump here for YM as well, getting right up to this high from Friday to the cent here and a little rejection. Right into a 1 hour squeeze top, ES into a 30-minute and a 1 hour squeeze top, NQ into a 1 hour squeeze top, 30-minute as well. And let's see here, we have ADD opening at about negative 80, nothing too crazy. Tick opened up here, not too wild either. Right, about negative 220 or so. Pretty chill open here for our internals. Let's see if this turns into chop here pretty quickly. Would not be surprised at all. And pulling right back here on all of our major indices. Still no like clear rotation, right? Nice bounce here for all of them, a little pullback for all of them. But it wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some rotation here momentarily. Google here rejecting right at that gap fill, right around this level here. Just like we said in the chat, right? Don't want to be the first one to the party. I'm going to pull up some SPY contracts here while we're not getting rotation. Right, if we start to get some gross rotation, I'll hop over to QQQ. Gonna look at contracts for tomorrow, of course. And you know, I like to look up to those 5-point increments. We're right at that 435, so 440 kind of cheap here. Probably won't play this, but just pulling information here to start as usual. But you know, if you are flipping around some strikes here this morning and maybe you're seeing some charts like this, right? Beast not really plotting here correctly. It's because we have made a solid move here in the last week. So we are now kind of in a range with a lot of contracts that haven't had a lot of volume. So we haven't had a lot of data. So we're still waiting for our little beast here to calculate a lot of these levels. So let's see, I'm gonna get a little closer here. Maybe play today's contracts instead. Those will likely have more data. Looking like we might have to look at today's contracts. And even still, some very tight zones here for today's contracts. And again, just a little bit of lack of data here. These puts especially, I know, are struggling here, and I'll just show you guys this real quick. Right, you go to the option chain here, and got my handy dandy beast columns, and we got straight not available here pretty much all the way through. So if you do see some strikes here this morning, you know, to our paid members here, that don't have Beast, right? Maybe if you're playing SPY for today, right? We have a lot of contracts here that have not yet calculated our Beast levels. So just gotta be patient here, right? Another reason maybe just to keep being patient here early this week while we let some of these names shake out and let these indices shake out, right? Again, you know, we're in a tough spot here on the indices. Just like ES, right? SPY here at this previous level of consolidation. You know, we had quite a bit of consolidation here before, right? And this was recently, a couple weeks ago. I won't be surprised to again see some consolidation here, right? Probably all of these players here that were active 2 weeks ago are still pretty active right now and still have similar goals. So here we go, starting to see some rotation here. NQ popping a bit, YM lagging here a bit. Keep taking a look around here. These internals, ADD dropping here quite a bit, down to about -500 and cracking under our open range buy zone. See if this buy zone now turns into resistance for us on the retest and if we go lower. But let's see here. We have VIX pulling back as well as ADD and tick pull back. I don't love that, right? We should see VIX doing the opposite of tick and ADD. The dollar pulling back here as well, right? This should also be doing the opposite of tick and ADD. Oh, NQ coming up here for a high of day. But seeing that rotation, right? YM lagging here and ES just not really going anywhere. And again, ES at a tough spot here, right? That previous zone of consolidation. We're at this daily 50 right here, this gold solid line. Just gotta be real patient here. Let all these internals realign themselves. Let these indices pick a direction. And we'll wait, right? Oof, Google here. Nice bounce off our open range buy zone to the center right here. Love that. Nice little move here on this 130 call, right? Pretty much right at it here. 77 cents here, maybe call it 80 cents. Up to almost $1.10. Not bad, not bad. Gonna keep an eye on this here. Maybe we get a pullback and get another opportunity to jump in. Right, I wouldn't mind it here at this 82 cents, the open from the previous day. Gonna throw the put up here as well. And again, for those of you trading SPY and Qs here for today, right, most of your puts look like this, right, whether it be today's expirations or tomorrow's expirations. You can still use this as information here, right? Still using this open level as information. You know, as long as it stays below here, this open level could feel a little bit better here about the call side, right? Or the inverse. Oh, Google. Too slow here for this dip buy, but really nice move. Gonna keep an eye on it though. Again, seeing some rotation here, so wouldn't be surprised if we rotate right back, right? And Q starts to drop here, YM starts to pop, and as usual, ES goes nowhere. ADD still dropping here as well, right? Tick still dropping here a little bit as well, down near this negative 600. So again, just really hesitant to play anything in this kind of mess of internals, right? Individual names will be a little bit safer, just doing their own thing. Really nice pop here for NQ. Google up to this gap fill, right? But again, as long as we're seeing some rotation here, I just don't think it's going to happen for tech by itself. Pop back over to my prep screen here. Let's pull up Google again. See how we're doing in this gap. Yeah, we're cranking above it right here. We definitely have to go red on the day to fall back under where this gap fill is. Hola Google. Carol, let's see, jumped into Amazon 143 call at 33 cents. Let's take a look at that baby real quick. Hey, already up to 53 cents here. Solid. Without even looking at it, liking what you're putting down. Let's throw it into here real quick. Oh. Nice, nice. Down from 33 cents. So right at its open level, let's go. Up to 55 cents. And a quick look at Amazon itself here. Up to that 140 to the cent, right? I was saying, oof, you know, wanted above 140, but kind of tough up here. Still think kind of tough up here. So definitely, if you have some of this, I would trim here into momentum. This might be hard to get through. But as always, if you can leave a runner, leave a runner. Oh man, really nice move from Google here off of our open range buy zone, right? And then off of that previous day's open here on the call itself. 80 cents up to about $1.30. All right, let's go. Getting you a solid 60-70% there. And here we go. NQ starting to get the pullback. YM with a little bounce, but nothing crazy. Let's see if we get a team sell here. Yep. ES coming down to its open level. Low of day on ES here. And ADD just continuing lower. VIX nice bounce here. All right. VIX starting to shape itself back up here with our other internals. Though tick bouncing here a little bit. Don't love that. And a big bounce here for ES, right? So again, just not going anywhere, seeing some rotation, not seeing some rotation. They just keep peppering it in here, not really letting us go anywhere. Right, this is a difficult environment to trade in, right? Big wicks to the upside, big wicks to the downside. Money is moving, but it is tough. It is tough. But again, was very aware that this was going to be a tough trading environment before the bell even rang this morning, right? We've been talking about it all morning, you know, and I even said before open, I might not take any trades today while some of this unfolds here. Doesn't mean there isn't good trades, right? We've already seen a bunch of good trades here. But I want nice and easy trades, right? I want them to be very clear. I want to not be stressed out in them. Oh, snap, up to 70 cents on that 143 call. Carol, hope you're trimming some contracts here. Let's see this thing. Oh, through 140, let's go. Right, and that target is up here about 145. You know, we hit it before. 145, almost 146. Getting close, right? That would get us right to the top of this third Keltner channel as well. Right, a little tough to go higher as we get, you know, higher and higher into the study, but got a little room here. Could totally happen here this morning. And again, we're trading short-term options, right? We get the move out of this, right? Even if it's some tough upside, trim it up, collect our profits, and then who cares from there? Little bounce here for ES and NQ. Well, I am trying to hold here at our open range buy zone, and as you can see, we got a bunch of squeezes here as well. Some tight squeezes too. 30-minute, 1 hour. Whoops, what else we got in here? Maybe a 2 hour, a little bit lower. No, just that 1 hour. Some tight squeezes here though. ADD still straight down here from the open. Tick has yet to test zero. But again, nothing too wild here from Tick. Nothing too wild here from VIX. And kind of same for the indices here, right? Nice pop, nice drop. Kind of just chilling here. Well, I am sitting here at low of day, giving us a little bit of a downside look right here, right now. But again, still could easily see some rotation back and us go nowhere. But oh, here we go. ES, low of day, cracking under this open level here a bit. Oof. And Q coming down to VWAP here as well. Nice full test of it now. ADD here, about to arrive at our destination buy zone. I like how Google's holding up here. You know, versus NQ here. But again, got to be careful here, especially with these contracts, right? We got this put here holding up at our open range buy zone. Could get a nice little bounce here. And the call up at our open range sell zone, right? Could have us a little rejection here. I at least wouldn't mind a little pullback here to maybe buy this dip at this open level at about 129. That would be nice. Maybe gets this 130 call back down to its open level here at about 90 cents. Right, then I'll take a move from 90 cents to $1.03 all day. No problem. especially on a Monday. Nice bounce for tick here, testing 0, a little peek through it, and a rejection. So let's see if we continue to roll over here. So again, if we are looking for some downside here, right, I want to see VIX break out above this open level here, about 15.5, 15.4, and go higher, right, punch a high of day. Could continue to bring our indices lower, right? Tick rejecting at 0 here and rolling back over should bring our indices lower. Maybe we get the inverse, right? ADD here, pretty low on our tool, down to our final zone to the downside on ADD in reference to our beast tool. So who knows? Could start to get the bounce here, actually. ADD starts to pump higher, and whole market starts to bounce. But we do see it on ADD pretty frequently, right, that it'll just level off for a while, right, go sideways, and then eventually start the reversal. So we could just see some chop here again. Maybe we get some rotation. Kind of seeing it here, right, NQ trying to bounce a little, YM not really trying to bounce. Right, a single tick above 0 would be nice. But hey, this is how we follow them, and this is how we know where they're going. So let's see, if we just keep rejecting that 0 on tick, we should just keep rolling over here, and oh, here goes NQ. Down to low of day here on NQ, YM sitting at low of day. But again, ES at this open level, right? And again, like I was saying, ADD could just go sideways here while we pretend to go lower for a few minutes, right, and catch little bounces. Eventually trap a bunch of people to the downside, and then we rip higher from this open level, right? And then a couple candles later, you'll say, when you look back at it, like, oh, easily could have bounced out this open level. Let's see, right now, not looking like it. NQ trying to go a little bit lower, right? YM holding up now, though. Oh, VIX starting to pop here a little bit higher. But again, still getting that rotation here. YM bouncing, even NQ bouncing, trying to hold up here. Might get us some upside here off of this open level on ES. Come on, Google, pull back just a little bit more. So ideally right here, looking to get into this Google call here at 130, but I want Google to pull back here to this open level, catch some support at about this 129, and this 130 call to also come back down here to its open level. And then look for an entry around there. Right, again, looking to play this gap fill here to the upside on Google. As you can see here on this daily chart, or on either of these daily charts, got a nice little gap here. Trying to hold up at this 130, Just want to see a little bit of a pullback to get a nicer entry. And again, I want to see both of these here, this call and the equity, pull back to this open level, right? Which means I want to see this put here bounce off this open range buy zone, maybe get to its open level, and then they all reverse here at the same time, right? But gotta be patient, right? Google holding up here, might not get it, right? I might not get it, but that's okay. There will be plenty of pullbacks in that gap fill to the upside. Little bounce here for NQ and ES, still getting a little rotation here, right? YM really not helping us out here to the upside. Going a little bit lower on ADD here as well. But again, let's start to see if we just go sideways here for a little bit at our destination buy zone here on ADD. And maybe start curling back up here. Right, liking this bounce so far, really across the board here. YM bouncing a little bit. Little bounces here though, being met with rejections. Tick, right? We got that rejection at 0. Just chopping it up here between this negative 600 and this 0 here. Nice little bounce here though. And Q and ES getting back above VWAP. Let's see if ES comes back and tests this daily 50 again here for like the 100th time this morning. Oh, miserable price action out here. Miserable price action. But again, I was fully prepared for this, right? We talked about this before the open, right? At a tough spot here for a lot of names, definitely our indices. And I kept posting about it, right? I'm going to share that picture I shared this morning. Right, and here is ES in the Keltner study, right? These are daily candles here on this daily chart. And like I was saying this morning, right, we have now arrived back at this previous zone of consolidation I highlighted here, right? I'm expecting a little turbulence while we're in here. You know, ultimately the trade I'm looking for is the move out of this zone. Right, or ultimately you can play some legs up and down in here. But again, shorter trades, right? Can't be greedy on the trades while we're in this range. So just something to keep an eye on here. Especially as we just keep getting chop here and keep getting rotation, right? Look, VIX coming back down here from this open level. Tick coming up to test 0 again. Oh, a little peek through, but again, you know, nothing wild here. let's see if we start to put in a nice little bounce here. ADD trying to bounce, tick trying to crack through zero. Let's just bounce through some names here once again, right? See how we're doing here. Oh, Apple, nice move here. Nice move here, getting about, hey, almost 3 points here, right? Nice leg up from Apple. Was kind of hesitant to play Apple since we were right at this daily Ichimoku cloud, right? Thought it might be one that gets smacked back down right at this level, but hey, catching a nice bounce here right at this level and right at this daily 50 as well. Nice little move for Apple, right? Again, trying to get to this 180 here to the upside. AMD coming off a nice pump, right? Not surprised to see it not really going anywhere, you know? Made a nice move here into this third Kellner channel to the upside, right? A little bit tough to go higher here. And again, I said it this morning, you know, obviously AMD has been sideways here at about this 110 for a long time, so it can totally go higher for sure. But as we get up here, right, it just gets a little bit tougher. Check back on these indices real quick. Oh, Rowan over here. Glad I came back here real quick. Alright. Let's see. The call here getting down to the entry that I like, but let's see if Google itself will come down here and tap this open level. Right, I would like my entry here, and I would like my price to be either here where we're at now, or down at this 82 cents is also cool. Open from yesterday. But just got to be careful here, right? All indices kind of giving a downside look. And Q coming a little bit lower here. And ES right to this open level again. Gotta be careful with this low of day on NQ. Could tap it here. Oh, and it's through. Low of day on NQ. Let's see how Google's doing here. Cracking under that open level. Think I'm gonna take a little shot here. Just one contract. 90 cents. Let me in. And again, I'm gonna be careful here and keep my position size small, right? I'm obviously buying upside into a low of day on NQ. Don't love that. But we keep getting these little bounces, right? We keep getting these little bounces. So just taking a little shot here. And again, you know, like we've seen, a lot of names really jacked up, right? A lot of names could use an upside breather here, so that's only why I'm jumping into one contract of this so far, allowing myself the ability to average down or cut just a single contract here and not take too much damage, right? I would like some upside here out of Google, keep working up in this gap. But obviously, you know, very hyper aware that a lot of names have, you know, really most of the market here in this past week is taking a really nice leg to the upside, right? So wouldn't be surprised at all if we do roll over here. And VIX going a little bit higher here. ADD still sitting down here at our destination buy zone. And tick still rejecting 0, right? So still kind of tough here, right? Not too much wind here in my sails, but still at a critical point and still early in the session. It could easily turn up from here. So just giving my exposure to that. But again, I'm just staying realistic here about the reality as well, right? Like, I just know that upside could be limited, downside could have a little bit more risk reward. But again, we've come from an overall upside trend here the past week. I don't want to fight that too hard either. Hey Rose, good morning, good morning. Glad to see you back. Hope all is well. So can't, you know, stress this enough here this morning, right? Really tough trading environment out here, really tough day trading environment especially, right? Don't take any trades in this mess, you know? Don't take any trades, just wait for this to shake out and pick a direction. You know, you'll get some more clear, safer trades later into the session, right? I just have one contract here of this Google, so I'm not stressed about this at all. I might as well be in no positions. Nice little bounce here for Googs so far. Up a couple bucks here on just a single contract. Again, just dipping my toes here. Just keeping an eye on this baby. ADD punching a fresh low of day here. This market looking like it wants to roll over here. Oof, and taking a little bit of a drop here now. ES coming down to low of day, NQ as well. Goog's pulling back here a little bit. Right, we talked about this here all morning, right? A lot of names super jacked up. Probably need that little bit of relief here, especially for these puts to come back to life. All these calls to come back to earth here. Hey, but Google holding in this little pullback. Might just hang on to this little call contract here. Big pump here for the dollar. Breaking through high of day here, getting up to this open level on the dollar. But again, some tough price action here, right? Can come back and look and say, oh, an easy short from the top here, but by no means was this an easy short, right? A lot of rotation within all of this. A lot of dips met with bounces, right? It's a tough trading environment, you know. If you're not in this, don't be upset about it. Don't feel any FOMO. It's definitely hard to get here, especially with short-term options, right? And even this 435 put here right at the money, right? We're getting much more than a 30 or 40 cent range here, and even then on this dip, barely breaking out of this range, right? And this is the 435 put, currently in the money for today. But breaking a little bit lower here on ES, looking like it's now being driven some by NQ as YM is trying to hold up here at this daily 50. Still just a couple cents green here on my Google call. It's still early in the session here, so won't be surprised if we do get an upside leg here at some point, especially as we start to test these squeeze bottoms. Might be okay here on this Google call. Shoot, I might even add another one by the looks of it here. Getting some nice relative strength out of Google, right, in comparison to NQ here. But again, you know, Google coming off that shaky earnings, even when NQ does turn back up, Google might then also lag to the upside. So just something to keep in mind. Liking this hold here so far, though. And again, just not really super impressed with this put premium here being in the money and for today, right? Just slightly above this open level, just slightly above this range it put in. Shoot, I mean, just barely cracking above here to put in a high of day. Don't love that. And a gross bounce to bring us right back up. But alright, y'all, I gotta wrap up my session a little bit early today, and I will be wrapping it up a little bit early this entire week. Unfortunately, my hands are needed elsewhere. Here at one of my labs a little bit earlier this week. But I will still be getting in these open sessions with you guys from my desk here Thursday and Friday still, so at least there is that. But, you know, just keep in mind everything we've been talking about here this morning, right? Just a lot of rotation, a lot of chop, you know, especially as we have arrived back at these previous levels of consolidation, right? I'm going to keep talking about this as long as we're in this little zone, right? Going to have very limited expectations out of trades while we're in this zone. As we start to break out to the upside or the downside is when we can really start to get risky, put on some size, and leave some runners to go to the moon, hopefully, right? But until then, you know, keep your expectations in check and, you know, trim your positions into momentum, right? Don't be greedy. Don't let it come back on you, because a lot of times once you're waiting for that recovery, you never get that number you saw in the first place. So trim into momentum and pay for your positions, right? If you're trading in this consolidation, pay for your positions while we go back and forth. But alright, y'all, I'm going to head on out of here. I hope everyone has a great rest of the trading day, a great Monday, and I hope we have a great week here. And remember, we've got Powell on Wednesday and Thursday. So keep that in mind for sure. But alright, y'all, I'll catch y'all later. Much love, and again, I will be here Thursday at the Open and Friday at the Open. Alright, later.